Welcome back, Chapter 3, Video 3, talking about the different strategies that the North and the South are going to use. So, today, again, I thought the last one went over well, so we're going to start off with a science tip. Some of you might know this already, but did you know how to distinguish an alligator from a crocodile? The easiest way to do this is by paying attention to whether the animal sees you later or in a while. So, there you have it. Science question or science fact for you. As always, just awful jokes. But as I said, we're going to talk about the two different strategies. So this is going to be a very, very short video. So we'll start talking about the South strategy. Now, again, we've already kind of talked about the pros and the cons and how both sides are going to see themselves as possibly having the upper hand, who has more people, who has the railroads, who has the stronger military officers and the training colleges for the military, which we know are going to be the South. So we'll talk about them. Now, they think that they definitely have the advantage here. They think that they're fighting for a better cause. Just like with the Revolutionary War, I guess I would say morale was a big factor because the colonists, they were actually fighting for something. The British, they were just fighting for a king. Now, I know the South's morale was fighting for one of the worst things to ever happen in American history. But that was one thing that the historians kind of look at as something that was on their side with morale. But anyways, the Southern generals, they are going to pick their battles very, very sparingly. And they are going to, have a quick attack and then they're going to leave, just trying to inflict heavy casualties, which really isn't going to work out because we know the North has more people. But they think the biggest advantage on their side are going to be the generals that they have. That these generals, they know what they're doing, they had the experience, they went to college, they had all this training for it. So they know if it's going to be a winning battle or a winning cause, or if they should just stay away. And they're going to stay away from those, and whatever they think is going to be best in that situation there. Now, and they also believe that the Union, the North, they are eventually going to grow tired of this war. They are going to try to do something known as a war of attrition. Now, technology is starting to change. The bullets that they have are much more accurate. They are also not going to fight in the same way as the Revolutionary War, where it's here's side A, here's side B. This side starts first, this side starts second. We're going to start shooting, and I know it's going to look like I was waving at you guys. But anyways, they're not going to line up. They're now going to fight in trenches, and they are going to slowly but surely start to try to take over the other side. Now, this is a very long fought war. Trench wars are going to be very long and tiresome, and there's going to be heavy casualties. But they think that the Confederates think that the Union eventually is just going to give up. Now, one thing again to kind of keep in mind here is Jefferson Davis. Now, Jefferson Davis, again, he does not have a ton of support from his states. He does not have the Constitution on his side. And this whole idea of a war of attrition, of taking a very long time, the citizens in the South are not going to be okay with that because they think, again, we have the better generals, we have the best training. We're not going to give up our style of fighting that we know works and is successful just because they have more people. So due to this pressure by the people living in the South, they're going to strike quickly in 8 battles, and they're going to kind of do the opposite of what they believe, where they're going to pick their battles sparingly. They're just going to go and do an all-out charge. They're going to suffer about 20,000 more casualties than the North, which they are not going to be able to keep up. They do not have as many people that the North have. So their strategy of picking battles sparingly possibly could have worked because, yes, again, they have the better generals. But by Jefferson Davis not having the support of his people, that's going to hurt. And they're going to have those casualties right away. Now, the Union, theirs are going to be known as the Anaconda Plan. And the reason they came up with that is, if you know, again, kind of thinking about science here, but maybe a little bit more biology, but an anaconda, the way they strike, it is very slow. They slowly strangle their prey. Now, Winfield Scott, who is going to be the not commander-in-chief, but he's going to be the leading commander in the North, he suggests that the Union, they blockade Confederate ports and send gunboats down the Mississippi River. So, again, they are going to block the ports on the eastern coast. They are going to go down the Mississippi, so on the west, and they want to pretty much cut off the Confederates into two. They do not want to give them any supplies. They do not want to let them have any food. burn down houses, burn down fields. And again, this sounds very, very morbid. But the reason they did this was they thought that a slow, long, kind of held out war is going to make the other side give in. Now Lincoln, he adopts this plan, and again, he believes that only a long war is going to lead to this victory. So we have kind of, in a way, two styles that are kind of similar. We're going to wait this out. We are going to pick our battles sparingly, a little bit different in the sense of the generals and dividing the North and the South into two different parts. But nonetheless, as we know, the Anaconda Plan is going to be more successful.